What's going on, guys? This is Bobby Douglas, and this is just part 2 of the Josh Giddey full game breakdown. Remember, this is a preseason NBL game featuring the Adelaide 36ers and the Brisbane Bullets, so let's get right into it. Josh Giddey is going to be number 6 in the blue, if you recall, so right there. And, we'll watch him play. He runs the point guard for this team, so it's very interesting to see someone his size run the point, especially as an 18-year-old, right? So I think that shows a lot of poise and overall composure that Giddey does have, which I think is very valuable to possess as a young NBA player. And we will watch him play. The camera is a little bit weird to start off just in terms of the angles. It looks like when ESPN tried to do those like Big Ten courtside seats things, I think it was for an Ohio State-Michigan basketball game, and everybody was just lighting them up for it. But now we're good. So here we go. Giddey's running a little bit more off ball. Towards the end of the first half, he was doing this too. And, that's going to be a question that the team that drafts Giddey is going to have to answer. Like, do we think he is a actual point guard? Do we run him with the ball in his hands often? Or do we do we run him off ball and hopefully that shot comes along, right? Because personally, right now, I think he's probably better suited on the ball, but is he good enough as a point guard to really do that consistently? I don't know. So it'll be interesting. And then obviously you can't really play him off the ball in big minutes yet just because the shot is a question mark. So interesting set of skills for Giddey. Right there, a really, really nice pass. And can he play the point guard? Well, certainly in transition, he looks the part, right? Again, he's going to get the ball. Remember, he's a big rip and run threat. I don't know if he got the rebound here, but again, perfect pocket pass. Reads the cut perfectly. Easy dunk. Those are the Giddey moments that make you shake your head and be like, wow, this is the next, great passing guard right there. Good active hands, gets that deflection using his length. Not really his length, but just more his size and presence and intelligence to get that and knock it out of bounds. But it's just like, where do you play him to start off with? I think that's going to be the biggest question the team has to answer, because he does have the passing skills of a point guard, but does he have the creation skills, right? Is he enough of a scoring threat to be your on-ball, creator, your primary creator, right? That's yet to be determined. Personally, right now, I think no, as he gets bodied for this rebound. Remember, I talked about this in the first half. He gets around 7.5 rebounds a game this year for the 36ers, but it's not. But I think it's important to realize how he gets those rebounds. It's not because he's battling down low. Right here, we'll see him just kind of get shoved away and gets out muscled for that rebound. It's not that he's doing that to get his boards right. Was that another pass from Giddey? Holy shit, if that was. That was another pass from Giddey. All right, hang on. Let me finish this point, and we got to give this pass its justice, because what I was saying about Giddey is that he gets his rebounds primarily just by being in the right spot, and that comes with just kind of reading the game overall, right? So that's how he's getting his 7.5 boards a game. It's not really because he's such a warrior on the glass, right? So I do wonder how much of that will translate to the NBA. Maybe he's more of a 4-rebound-a-game guy. Regardless, though, he does have an impact on the glass, but right there he kind of gets bodied. But the stream isn't going to do us justice. So right here, I think this pass is being made to a streaker down the right side of the floor. And right in the breadbasket, easy layup. That is probably one of the more impressive passes that I've seen in doing these breakdowns this year. And again, like I mentioned in the first half, how Giddey's a different prospect than LaMelo Ball. But on the surface, 6'8" point guard, really good passer in transition and into half court, flashy. You can kind of see the basic similarities, right? And I'm not saying that Giddey will have as effective of a rookie season as LaMelo. I don't think he will. But you can't see kind of where those comparisons come from, right? But I do think Giddey, and I've seen like the Joe Ingles comparisons. I've seen some of those to more traditional small forwards, and I really don't think those really do him justice necessarily, just because like he is such a more like capable passer than Ingles. Joe Ingles is a very, very solid passer. But Giddey, in terms of like being able to run point and create for others, right? I think that's what kind of separates him from a Joe Ingles type. Maybe he ends up playing that in the NBA, but that's yet to be determined. But I don't really think the Joe Ingles comparisons are really. I'm not a huge fan of those. Right there, nice left-handed pass in the shooter's pocket leads to an easy jump shot. You can see Giddey has 7, 6, and 5 right now as Brisbane's going to take a timeout. And this is going to be a replay. Just live dribble passing. Giddey's one of the best in the class at. Probably the best in the class, I would say, just in terms of that one specific live dribble passing skill, right? And what I mean by that is that, like, just passing off a dribble, right? We're going to see it. Oh, we're not going to see it again right there. But just the ability to just get mid-dribble, just launch passes, either hand, any side of the floor, right? And that's something that's really impressive for me with Giddey. It looks like we're going to get a... And yeah, now we're back here. So yeah, that's kind of like the appeal with Giddey. Just like the live dribble passing in transition, rebounding and running as we get a steal right here. And fast break for Giddey. Nice little touch pass with that left hand just to rewind it right here. And again, you can see it right here immediately. Giddey gets the ball. Pretty bad spacing from Adelaide, right? They have 3 guys within like 3 feet of each other. But again, just forcing it through that window, right? The quick touch pass. And again, you could tell that number 9 for Adelaide wasn't even expecting that pass. Giddey's just that far ahead at times, and I think that's really impressive as we get a deflection here. But the passing definitely is something that I think is probably his most NBA-ready skill. Right now, I think that's probably where he is. Right there, really nice job staying attached to his man around the ball screen. Again, great effort. That's a really good contest. Tough shot to make and tough shot to have to defend. But overall, I mentioned this in the first half, but I'll reiterate it as well. Giddey's just should have had another assist right here as he's going to, again, draw both guys in. Again, using that spin move to kind of shield this guy. And again, you see 2 guys right here. Brisbane's playing one of the deepest drops I've seen. Wide open 3 for, I think that's Isaac Humphries. He just can't knock this down. But those are the looks Giddey will create. But as I was saying, defensively, right, he's not going to be, I don't really think he is necessarily like a guy that you can, be putting on like the other team's best wing player, right? I don't really think that's Josh Giddey's role defensively. I think he's more of just a guy who can get deflections, who can get his hand in passing lanes and just not let you down defensively rather than somebody who's going to lift you up, if that makes sense, right? He's going to be a reliable defender, not a spectacular one, Not somebody who's going to be, as we see him right here, again, nice job getting through that screen. He's not going to be somebody who is just lockdown, right? But he's also not going to be a guy to just be a, Swiss cheese, So that's kind of where I'm at with Giddey defensively, someone who's reliable, not spectacular. But I think, reliable on defense gets you minutes in the NBA. So I'm not really concerned about Giddey's defense. We'll see him off the catch 3, barely grazes the rim. And again, the jump shot form, the mechanics, everything about it, the off the catch, off the dribble, it's all very, very robotic, very rigid, right? We're going to see it right here. He's going to catch, takes a long time to get off. And again, it's just it feels like he's pushing it towards the basket. He doesn't really have that natural range based on what I'm seeing. And again, woefully short on this 3. Doesn't get it to go. And that's going to make or break Giddey offensively. It's going to be that shot because we know he can pass. We know he tries pretty hard defensively. It's just really going to be about the shooting and can he be like a number 1 or 2 option or at least good enough offensively on his own to warrant putting the ball in his hands where he's most comfortable, right? And so it's going to be interesting to see what he does and what team drafts him. I'm kind of just like going through fits. Like I think the Warriors would be a great fit for him because Steph can run off the ball. Giddey can kind of come in with the second unit or play next to Steph Curry and those people. I think we're on replays right now. Yeah. It's really confusing, especially without the sound because we don't know what the replay is. Like we don't know what a replay is, and so versus a live game. So like sometimes they'll be just showing action, and then like I have no idea if they're like actually playing or not. But right there, you see Brisbane's kind of extending that defense. Giddey handling that press really well. Just the composure of Josh Giddey, I think, is really, really impressive. That and the passing, and I think the passing kind of leads in, or kind of is under the composure branch. You know what I mean? But if I had to sum up Josh Giddey in one word, it would be composed. And I think that's a very, very high compliment to receive for somebody who's an 18-year-old playing professional basketball. We can see Giddey get that rebound. Again, just kind of not a guy who's going to go up and get it, not a guy who's going to challenge vertically, but, reading tip-outs really well, right? Things like that, he'll be in the right spot and get those kind of 50-50 rebounds, right? We got a foul here, it looks like. And I think, yeah, Giddey's actually out right here for the remainder of the third quarter. Remember, this is a preseason game, so he's not going to play a whole lot. But I will skip ahead right here. 128-27. Yep. And Giddey is in, I believe. Yeah, Giddey's in right there. So, yeah, you can see him right there. That was his first possession. Not much going on, but right there, spacing's a little bit off, but Giddey kind of in the right spot, running the lane well. I personally would have liked to see him kind of pop out, but it actually works out pretty well. Nice drop off, Giddey with a floater. And again, pretty good finisher at the rim. He shot, what did he shoot for the season? 42.7% from the floor. Not really great on paper, but I think his 2-point field goal percentage was around closer to like 50, 52. So that's pretty good, especially for somebody who doesn't really have like overwhelming strength. And so, kind of just the scoring at the rim, not somebody who's going to really break you down off the dribble consistently, I would say, but if you give him a ball screen, he can definitely make you pay because he is such a good decision maker and somebody who can make those floaters and just, finish with both hands at the rim, things like that. We see Brisbane hit a 3. This game is basically a blowout. But, going back to what I was saying, another one of those. Every single time I see Giddey do one of these, I'm going to point it out. Just this time with the left hand behind the back. Again, just in stride, la-di-da, casual, right in the shooter's pocket. Those are the passes that he makes so effortlessly that I think it's really impressive. You can see Giddey right here, kind of the low man right now, weak side. Good job reading that pass and closing out right there. Again, kind of working on the DHO. Looks like there was a little bit of a miscommunication there, or at least just kind of like a collision, right? So this guy right here needs to be tagging this roll man. I know it's like a super short kind of roll, but it's kind of like the same situation as a pick and roll from the top of the key, right? Giddey is beat kind of right here. But again, right there, this guy kind of fell asleep. Giddey's obviously, colliding with his own teammate. Kind of just an awkward situation, but, Giddey's not going to be, again, not a defensive anchor by any stretch. He's just going to be a guy who can come in, maybe get a deflection or two, get some rebounds, be in the right spot at the right time, and you go from there. Reliable, not spectacular. Right there, Giddey, really nice backdoor cut. We'll watch it again. Great backdoor cut. And again, some of this instinct that he shows on the ball can also translate off the ball, right? Because, Giddey, I'm sure he's thinking with this cut, what if I have the ball in this guy's position, what would I want myself to be doing, right? The answer is clearly to backdoor, right? And he does. Good pass from number 7 right there. And Giddey finishes with the kind of layup, the dunk layup type of thing, And so I think Giddey's kind of, we talked about it a little bit with Franz Wagner too, where defensively he's really good off the ball, and thus that translates to his, off-ball intelligence offensively as well. Giddey, it's kind of the same thing where it's like his intelligence on the ball and contributes to his instincts away from it, right? And so if he can really kind of, solidify himself as a cutter, maybe that gives the shot a little bit more time to develop. But again, right now I think he's best suited for a team that allows him to play as much point guard as possible. So whether that be like the Warriors, I think they might, with the second unit, I think he could run it. I'm trying to think of other teams that maybe need a point guard. I know the Bulls aren't in there, but the Bulls could, if they trade up, they would be perfect for Josh Giddey, I think. Just any team that needs a point guard, I think would be perfect for him. Just because, even if he's not the guard of the future, at least get him minutes there and see what he can do. Right there, a little bit too casual, and this will happen sometimes. Again, 3.5 turnovers a game. You want to cut that down. But this is, I think, his first and only turnover of the night, and it comes on this little, again, another live dribble pass. Just can't really get that through, but I like and appreciate the vision that he displays. We got a turnover, and it's going to be Brisbane ball. But yeah, I don't know. And again, whenever I mentioned this too in my mock draft video that I did a few weeks ago, I want to say, right after the lottery, right there, Giddey, nice shot. That was really good defensive effort from Giddey. Moved his feet well. He dug a little bit, recovered well. Looks like we got a 3 in the key offensively, right? But Giddey did a nice job getting over the screen, moving his feet well, staying in front. But, when I did my mock draft video, a lot of you guys were saying, Josh Giddey at 7 to the Warriors. I'm like, yeah, I think that's a perfect fit for him, right? Just a guy who can come in. We talked about this with LaMelo Ball last year. Again, not to bring back to LaMelo Ball, but just kind of someone who can run the offense, maybe run a second unit, because he can play a little bit of point guard. But really, the main criticism that you guys had with Giddey was that, we want Davion Mitchell because he's older, he's more experienced, he can play right away. And I'm like, did you not watch Josh Giddey in the NBL? He was one of the more composed point guards in the league, right? What in this game makes you think that he's not ready to play some minutes in the NBA right now? You know what I mean? Especially as a point guard, like he's shown the potential to do that. So where I'm kind of getting confused on the no Giddey to the Warriors take at 7 is just like, this guy can play right away. He's one of the more NBA-ready 18-year-olds, I think, in the draft. And he also offers that upside that Golden State maybe is looking for right now, right? And so I think, in terms of basketball readiness, like with Davion versus Josh Giddey, you can maybe argue that Davion's a little bit more NBA ready, right? But I think it's not as like wide of a gap as you guys made it seem like, because this guy was running a professional basketball team at 18 years old. That's not common, right? And so I think maybe you guys were maybe underselling the NBA readiness of Josh Giddey just from a composure standpoint. But again, if you guys want Davion Mitchell still, that's fine. Maybe he's a better prospect. I mean, Davion's going to be he's going to be higher up on my big board just because I think he has a little bit more just all-star level potential. But, with Giddey, like, I still am very high on him, and I could totally see him going 7th overall, and I wouldn't be mad about it. If I'm the Warriors, I'm probably taking Josh Giddey just because he is younger. He gives them more size, and I think that's something that the Warriors could be looking for. But again, Davion Mitchell, Josh Giddey, either one's fine. That's just kind of my, rebuttal to the Warriors Giddey, hate that I got on the last video. This guy he's NBA ready, right? The shot's not NBA ready, but in terms of his mentality, in terms of his just, his passing, his IQ, he's NBA ready, right? And so I think people need to kind of recognize that a little bit more when they're talking about him. And they just see the age is not just a number. Wait, no, would it be? Yeah, age is just a number in this case, yeah. Because Giddey's only 18 yet. He plays like he's much older than that. We got free throws here. And here come, again, this is almost over. Giddey maybe has another minute left of action. Yeah. Before he's out for the remainder of the game. Remember, this is preseason, so he's not going to play as much as he would in a regular game. But I still think he did a lot in this, 20 or 24 minutes that he played. Right there, almost a turnover for Adelaide. And we're going to get a mid-range jumper. Not going to go. Yeah, Giddey here. Some point of attack defense. Not much going on. He's on the weak side now. Again, good rotations, moving his feet well. Head on a swivel. We're going to get a lot of volleyball. Like, those are the types of rebounds Josh Giddey will get. The ones that are kind of like batted around everywhere, and then they fall to somebody, those are the rebounds Josh Giddey gets. It's not the, go up and get it like Russell Westbrook rebounds, Well, that looked old, right? Again, he has a decent handle, even though I think he's too upright with his handle, right? I think his back is too straight, so that might cause him problems in the NBA. But right here, again, between the legs, pull-up jumper, creates enough space, and those are the shots that need to go down for him. If he can enhance that floater kind of a little bit out there as well, I think he has pretty decent touch around the rim, but if he can maybe get that out to a few more feet, that would be helpful. Right there, he's going to get that left-handed finish to go, and this is what I mean. Finishing with both hands around the rim, not afraid of contact. Perfect example right here. And again, just kind of floats it up with that left hand, gets it to go. Very nice play to end Josh Giddey's night. I think he has one more possession defensively. Kind of got shook out of his shoes right there defensively. And Brisbane can't finish it. Giddey gets that rebound again after an initial contact. And let's see what we got here. And again, just look how calm he is, right? He's just walking the ball up the floor, right? This guy's going to be swatting at the ball swatting at a fly, right? Giddey's just going to brush his hand away, do a behind the back pass. Whoop! Right there, open three. Got it to go. It's just so funny to watch how nonchalant he is and how unfazed he is by all this ball pressure, right? I think that's really impressive. And again, the composed Josh Giddey. We got a foul right there. And that is the end of Josh Giddey's night. So I'll pause it right there as he chats up the ref, getting in some good graces before the actual season starts. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Again, Josh Giddey is one of the more fascinating prospects to discuss just because his skill set is so unique, right? He's 6'8" point guard, really, really good passer, right? Has the composure in terms of, the mentality and just the ball handling, I think, to an extent where he's not going to, be overwhelmed by being an NBA point guard. But then again, like, how much do you play him there because his shot isn't ready yet? And so there's so many, like, just different variables in terms of, like, his skill, like, his variance in terms of, like, where he could end up, ceiling, floor, and then, like, his NBA positional fit, what he does right away, what team he gets to. There are so many things to discuss with Josh Giddey, and the possibilities, I think, with him are endless, right? And so I think he's one of the more interesting and more fascinating prospects to discuss as a whole in this draft class. Obviously, one of the more fun ones to watch just in terms of his passing. And so, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, we're doing like a 17-day sprint right now, right? So we're trying to get 30 videos, 30 players scouted by draft day. So hopefully you guys come along for that ride with me. And, yeah, we will see you later. I think we're doing Day'Ron Sharpe next from North Carolina, so stay tuned for that. And thanks so much. Have a great night. Bye.